Hey guys, what is up? This is First 2 Weeks, and this is just an epic guide I have on 5 different secret wonder weapons that are hidden throughout Mob of the Dead, basically Easter eggs. And the first one we're going to go through here is Hell's Redeemer. I'm fast forwarding here at like about 2 times normal speed because you gotta go through about 30 zombies or so, a full round of 30 zombies or more, and just only with the Hell's Redeemer. It's or Hell's Retriever actually, because you don't have that yet. Hell's Retriever, and it's actually not too hard. I mean, once you get them all very trained out, they just come in a couple at a time, so it's really not too bad at all. And make sure you're charging it too. You gotta make sure you charge it so there's 2 rings that go around you after you are just sitting there holding it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not very difficult. And this is just the first part of it. You gotta do a little bit more, and it's not too difficult even after that point. But I mean, we're sitting here just going through all these zombies. They're finally gonna be down to like the last couple. And you're supposed to hear the sound of a laugh or something, but here's what I hear is the sound. Let's take a listen. Yeah, so it's like this depressurizing sound. I don't know. I mean, I've never heard the laugh that I'm supposed to hear, but that's what I hear usually. And I don't know if it's supposed to be related to that or not. Anyways, as you saw there, the second step would be just going over to the lava pit by the dog and throwing it in the lava pit, and then you don't get it back. You come over here, and I don't know what's going on here. This happened to me twice. The only 2 times I've ever done it actually, and it doesn't give it to me right away. So I come back 2 rounds later without having done any other steps or anything at all. Come back 2 rounds later, and there it is. It's finally there. So I'm gonna hop on the afterlife and go grab it. And this is an extremely powerful weapon. I mean, it's an insta-kill forever, I believe, as long as you hit them. It's an insta-kill for as long as I've seen. I've seen gameplay of high 90s even. It's still an insta-kill. And I mean, I've had gameplay up to 50, and I just keep getting DC'd. We'll get into that later, though. But there we go, we got Hell's Redeemer. Let's go and see some gameplay of it now, because I'm sure you guys want to see how good this thing is. I think it actually has a little bit more of a chain reaction effect than the Hell's Retriever even. Like, it's a lot more powerful if you charge it up 3 times, because you can do it 3 times instead of 2. And once you do those 3 times, then it's just going to be an insta-kill every time. So I mean, here we are. I mean, we just throw the Hell's Retriever after powering it up, and yeah, it's an insta-kill. It even gives you power-ups. So that's a great way to even get power-ups in the high rounds, because I mean, you're going to see here, it even does chain react pretty well. I think it's better than the Hell's Retriever. But I mean, it does chain react pretty well through these. I mean, it all is insta-kill, and that's pretty good for just a weapon that you have permanently with unlimited ammo. So I mean, yeah, it's a great way to get max ammo on high rounds if you run low on ammo. Of course, you do only have 4 power-ups per round though, so after that point, if you have gotten all 4 power-ups, there's no point to continue with that, because the acid trap is going to be a lot more efficient. Alright, now we're going to go into our next secret wonder weapon here. It's the Golden Spork. What I'm doing right now is just, I'm at the Golden Bridge. You have to be here before you start any of the Easter egg whatsoever, and you also have to get the Vitalic Withering, so that's what I did also. You might as well do it while you're there, otherwise you're just going to make another trip for no reason. And if you don't know how to get the Vitalic Withering, it's tons of stuff on it coming later in the video as well, just all our Easter egg stuff on how to get it just super easily. So we want to go over here, throw a Hell's Retriever at that poster, and that's pretty much it for the first part of this. And a side note here, while I'm killing Brutus, and this is mid-round, I just figured I might as well do it mid-round. I don't really care, because I'm basically invincible with the stuff I've got right now, and I'll explain that later in another video for a strategy video. But basically, you can kill Brutus with 2 claymores every single time if you position them well. No matter how high a round it is, that's a really, really helpful tip. So then after we've thrown the Retriever at the poster, we want to go into the Afterlife right here, and there will now be a Afterlife door that is opened up right to the left of us. And I don't know why it took me so many tries to be able to get this right here, but it usually only takes like 1 or 2 tries to be able to shock the spoon to actually let you get the spoon, so it's taken somewhere else. And where that somewhere else is we're going to find, it's over in the cafeteria over by the acid trap, and that's going to be the next step to getting the Golden Spork. So we're just going to fast forward here, heading over here. This is me where the main strategy would be taking place anyways, right in this huge room here. And we're going to go over here, throw the Hell's Retriever right at where we can see the Golden Spork now is, on that table behind that barrier. And now the announcer is going to make a really loud and scary announcement. And after that, we go up to the infirmary, and there's a big bathtub filled with blood. And there's a couple of them, but it only works on one of them, I believe. So we go right here, just straight into this room. We go in this bathtub, and we press X. We got the spoons just start spinning around, stirring the blood, and it sinks in. Now, the next step, this is what you need the Vitalic Withering for. We're going to need to go back over to where you found the sheaths for the airplane. And yeah, we're just going to kill a ton of zombies here. And we're just gonna keep on killing them until we get the demonic last on the same sound as if you get the boxing move on a different map. And it's just, there's round 18 all the way through round 18 already. I mean, just keep spraying this Vitalic Withering the entire time. It's really easy because they're always distracted as long as you always have one burst sitting out there not exploded. Because it takes a while for it to explode. So I mean, you can just sit there at all times. And as you heard right there, if you were really paying attention, the last sound just went off, so I'm done with that step. And that's it. I mean, it's really easy as long as you keep one burst out there at all times with it not, as long as it's not exploded, because then they'll always be distracted and they'll never even try getting to you. And you can see I still got a ton of ammo left. I did go on max during that, but still, it's really easy to do. Now we're heading back to the infirmary for the final step here, and we're just going to go over and press X in the bathtub one more time, and the spoons can pop up. It is a one-hit kill until round 33, so up to and including round 33. Round 34 is a two-hit kill actually. So I mean, that makes it really nice for those first bunch of rounds, because that's my favorite point in the game, is like round 35 or so, because then you finally get the strategy to start falling into place a little bit better, because the spawns are basically what they'll be for the rest of the game. So I mean, if you got one guy going out of place because they're coming in a lot more slowly than they would in the future, that'll make these high round strategies a lot easier for the first bunch of rounds, because some high round strategies just don't even work for the first bunch of rounds that well. So now that's it for the Golden Spork. This is the free Blundergat. You go right here, to the one next to the spawn house retriever. You just throw it at that skull, you get a blue skull back. You should also hear ka-ching sound as if you were to get a window repaired and get money for it. The second one's in the warden's office, as you saw right outside the window from Speed Cola. You just throw it at the telephone pole. The third one is on top of the roof here up by the plane. And if you're having trouble with any of these steps as far as not knowing where to go and how to get to the roof and stuff, I do have guides on that as well, as far as getting off the island with the plane. So the third one's in that corner of that building up on the roof. The fourth one is right here next to Juggernog on that telephone pole, or light post actually, right there. The fifth one is right next to this one pretty much. It's just right down the docks, down by where PhD, Flopper, and Mulek are controlling us. And after doing a horrible 360 fail, there is the actual fifth and final skull. You're going to hear a laugh just like we heard with the Golden Spork. And we're going to go over here and back to the warden's office. And once we step into the warden's office, we get a free Blundergat in this spiraling vortex of flames. So that's a really easy way to get a Blundergat really high, or really early round. I got around 7 here. But I mean, I've even gotten the Hell's Retriever on round 5 previously, so I mean, you could even do it at round 5 or maybe even earlier than that even, who knows, as long as you spend your points well. Here's the Acid Gat kit. There's the first part location where one of them could be, and the second location for this part, because there's only 2 locations for this part as far as I know. Right there, you can see it's actually right there in this spot. So it's just the suitcase is the first part. Then we're just going to go into the second part, which is the green glowing thing. I don't even know what to say past that, just a green glowing thing. That's the first spot there where I just picked it up. The second spot and third spot are both in these 2 rooms right here. I didn't go through those because I mean, it's just extremely easy to find it, because it's just green and bright and glowing in the dark, so it's really easy to find. The third and final part is going to be in the warden's office, either in that spot, which I just highlighted there, or it's going to be in that spot right there. I passed by it the first time, and so we're going to go back and find that over there. And then once we do find that, we're going to go back up to the top, up by Electric Cherry, not by the roof, but just over here. And right behind Electric Cherry, going and building the Blundergat upgrade to the Acid Gat. And then once we come back with our Blundergat from the warden's office, so basically everything is completely free, we now have a free Acid Gat pretty much. So, and that's extremely helpful for higher long strategies. You can have it just extremely early and be set really early on. And as soon as you get the Acid Gat, I usually like to go to the Golden Gate Bridge. I usually like to go there and just kill zombies until I run out of ammo, and then pack it and get the Vitalic Withering. Now here's the zombie shield. This is extremely helpful for high round strategies as well, because it basically gives you like an extra Juggernog. The first part is in one of these corners here. It's just around there. I didn't really go through it too much because it's pretty easy to find. It's just around one of those corners over there. They're all pretty much in the same location. Here's the second part. It's a grill or fencing. That's the first part right there that's highlighted. The first location part, I mean. The second location is going to be right here, coming out of this empty, completely dead-end hallway. And the third location, which I miss and come back for later, you can kind of see if you look real closely. It's right there. That's actually the spot where it's at right now. It's up going on a stairwell. So that's the third spot for that. Then we have one final part for the zombie shield, and there's going to be 2 spots, one right there and one right there, right next to each other. One on the shelf, one on the floor, I believe. And then there's the third and final spot is right going to be on that shelf over there. So I mean, that's really easy to find. As long as you know the spots for the first spot, I mean, that's really not too difficult. It's just around one of the corners, and you can even see the lighting if you can't see it right away. When the lighting flashes, it'll be a little brighter. And so I just always build it over here by the acid trap because that's where the strategy is, and that's definitely where you're going to want to have it. I'm not sure if you can build it more on one side or not, but you really don't need to. And that's all the content I have for as far as those secret wonder weapons and stuff. And now we're going to go into the section which I titled Updates for 2 reasons. Updates on what I've been doing, and also why I haven't been having high rounds lately. I've been getting kicked out because of updates. I've gotten kicked out of live 2 separate times because of just stupid updates like this. I don't even know what the updates are, if they even are. I think probably some stupid little like minor glitch patch or something like that. But I mean, I've had 2 separate times I've been having this happen to me. Once around 51st, and then second time around 40 right here. I mean, the round 51 was over a couple of days. The round 41 was in all one sitting, and I just did it around 40, paused it, came back, and then it was RDC. I mean, so I mean, basically what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to do a local game. I'm just going to do a game that's not on leaderboards, just so I can have an actual high round game to show you guys. Because before I want to give you guys a high round strategy, I want to be able to label it as like a 100 plus strategy, because it's easily a 100 plus strategy, and I can easily do that. But I mean, it'd be nice to really put that on there instead of saying it's 100 plus and only getting a 50 with it. And I'd have a ton of comments just saying like, there's no way it's 100 plus because you only get a 50, and if it's a 50 plus trap strategy, it's a 100 plus trap strategy. But basically, that's gonna be it. And if you guys could leave a quick like while I'm throwing this awesome 726 sensitivity tomahawk to a max ammo, that would be awesome. And I will see you guys later.